Hi, thank you so much for joining us today. Good morning. I am Dr. Davia Shepherd. I am your host, and today I am going to share with you something that we found in our Ladies Power Lunch archives. You're going to love this. This is a clip of one of our Ladies Power Lunch members talking about life balance and how letting go of limiting beliefs actually can help us to live our best life. I invite you, tune in. She actually does a little workshop here and it is so amazing. And if you can work through that workshop with her, I'm pretty sure that that's going to be a great step on the path to growing your business smarter and living your optimal life. So stay tuned. By the way, hi. For those of you who've never met me before, I am Dr. Davia Shepherd, and I host a women's group in addition to hosting this show. So this show is called Grow Your Business Smarter, Live Your Optimal Life. And we really believe that as women in business, a lot of the times we're so caught up in that stress and strain and struggle to grow our businesses that we sometimes leave ourselves off our list and fail to live our best life while we're at it. And honey, life happens, right? While we're growing our businesses, things can pass us by. So remembering to stay tuned and stay in touch with who we really are, that has to be a piece of the puzzle. So, as I said, I host this show, and on this show, usually we bring on members of our Ladies Power Lunch community to talk to you about things that might help you to grow your business, things that maybe you might be struggling with, but one of our members has already been there, done that, and bought that t-shirt, and she is willing, able, and ready to help support you in moving past that obstacle so it can be in your rearview mirror, and then you perhaps can help somebody else with that challenge in the future. Ladies Power Lunch is an amazing place. It's a group of about 1,000 or so of my business besties, and they're all really committed to this idea that one, not enough women in business are making really good money. Two, that when women in business make really good money, that the entire community benefits. And three, that when women support each other, women in business support each other, everybody wins. And so we're all here every day inside our community supporting each other. People have issues, other people are helping, and it's just an amazing place to support and also to be supported. So I invite you, if you're not as yet a member of our outstanding community, come join us. I welcome you. Just go to growsmarternotharder.com/login. And there you'll be able to join our very vibrant Facebook group. You'll be able to join us for our monthly networking meetings. Plus, you'll see a lot of the free resources that we have there, all in service of helping you to grow your business smarter. But enough about me and Ladies Power Lunch, which I hope you will come and join growsmarternotharder.com/login. Let me tell you a little bit about the clip that I'm going to share with you right now. The speaker on this clip, her name is Gail Petrowsky. She is a very vibrant member of the Ladies Power Lunch community. She's actually in charge of our Ladies Power Lunch Live Your Optimal Life retreats. And she has, I would say, over 40 years of experience being a teacher, a therapist, and a life coach. And she's today going to be talking to us about exactly how, like, she's actually going to walk us through a workshop about exactly how to let go of limiting beliefs so that we can grow our businesses the way we want to, and we can live our lives the best way that we want to as well. It's an amazing, really outstanding workshop. And it's really a great step towards what we talk about a lot here on Ladies Power Lunch, which is living your optimal life. We believe that there are four things. I mean, whatever you want your life to look like is not one size fits all. Please don't get me wrong. That is not at all what we're saying here. But what I want to say is that there are four pieces to the puzzle of getting to that optimal life. Piece one is to get yourself and your life in balance. That life balance that you hear people talk about, when we talk about it, we kind of mean something a little bit different. We're talking about your relationship with you and yourself, your self-love, your self-care, your self-discovery, your self-actualization, all of that stuff, which of course is going to take into consideration any limiting beliefs that might be holding you back from living your best life balance. We also believe that if you are able to develop compassionate boundaries, and when I talk about boundaries, I'm talking about your relationship with yourself and everything else that's out there in the world, other places, other people, other things. What is your relationship with that? And are you making sure that your boundaries are not only solid, but they are compassionate? What are your values? What do you hold to be true? What's your line in the sand? Where do you want to stand when it comes to everything else that's around you? And how can you communicate that so that people know how to treat you? People know how you want to be treated. When are you saying yes? When are you saying no? Things like that. Once you get that foundational piece of having that life balance, a great relationship with you and yourself, and you feel like you are solid with your boundaries, it's time to talk about infusing more beauty into your life, talking about being able to stop and smell the roses, to actually enjoy the life that you're building, taking time for that gratitude, appreciation, all of that falls into that beauty piece that we talk about. And then, of course, there is the brilliance, the being the beacon, igniting your passion, answering the call, being the person that you're here to be in your business, to shine your light for others so that they can light up and shine their light too. The people who are losing sleep at night because they need the work that you do, you'll be able to shine brighter and be there for them. And so those are the four pieces that we talk about as far as living your optimal life goes. And of course, that's one of the things that Gail's going to tackle. The life balance piece is a little bit of what she's going to tackle in the workshop clip that I'm about to share with you. So take a look and I'll tune in at the end and we'll talk a little bit more.
Change any of those limiting negative thoughts that you may have into a positive, how that is going to transform your life and your business. Just think about it for a minute. And today I'm going to share with you exactly what limiting beliefs are, how to reframe them, and then what the amazing results can be. Whoops, got too close to that. You also can attain anything you want by doing this and create financial freedom. Now, if there's something that is holding you back, or there's a contradictory statement that you're making to yourself, or you're not where you really want to be in your business, in your life right now, that's usually a limiting belief. So what is a limiting belief? Well, I just told you it's a contradictory statement that you say about yourself that blocks you from getting to the other side. So right now, I want you to take a blank sheet of paper, maybe turn over a paper that you have, take a pen, and within 30 seconds, write down a limiting belief that pops up for you right now. Most of us are not aware that we even have a limiting belief. So when you get done writing that limiting belief, just look up at me so I know that you're done. Thank you. What is a limiting belief? A limiting belief is anything that you say that starts with, I'm not, I can't, or I don't. So some of the prime examples that I get all the time are, I don't have enough confidence. I'm afraid. I don't have enough money, or I don't have the support that I need. So the bottom line with all of that is that's what keeps you from attaining your goals. So how do we reframe those? How do we change that mindset? Well, we put that limiting belief. Did everyone write down their limiting beliefs? And we put that into a positive. So instead of I'm afraid, I'm not afraid. I don't have enough support. Well, look around the room, ladies. There's a lot of support here. All you have to do is ask. So put down and turn that into a reframe. A positive belief would be I can create an inner circle of support. I don't have enough time. I can create the time. So right now, take that pen again and reframe that negative belief, that limiting belief, into a positive. Did you do it? Oh, I just kissed the mic. Sorry. Listen, I've been holding mics doing seminars for over 30 years. And quite frankly, my mic is dented from my chin. But now it has my lipstick, so I apologize. Oh, okay. It's a good mix. So now that you've reframed that limiting belief, that's the first step, because that's almost always curative, because you are becoming aware of that you actually have a limiting belief. For me, I was so busy making sure that everyone else that I worked with was attaining their goals and their dreams that I didn't even take the time to reflect or balance that I actually had a limiting belief. So let me share with you what one of my limiting beliefs was. One of them. It was that I really didn't need a lot of support. I didn't really need a lot of help. I was an overachiever. You set a goal and I'm going to attain it. Now I had a team around me and that was awesome, but I didn't know enough to really let them in. And the end result was that I didn't produce the results I really wanted to produce. Not only didn't I produce the results I really wanted to attain, however, I also blocked off that support and it became much harder on me. So you need to be able to retrain your brain, because when you do that, neuroplasticity sets in. So when you really do, and you have to understand that it's wonderful that you reframed your negative belief into a positive belief, but in order to attain the results that you really want to have in life and where you really want to go with financial freedom and feeling really good about who you are, you have to be able to do the work. And the work is not easy to retrain a pattern that your brain has decided that it's hardwired into the limiting belief. Now, nobody wants to hear about a limiting belief because our first reaction is, you're going to beat yourself up. This is not okay to have our limiting belief. Well, we all have limiting beliefs. And the most important thing is to be able to acknowledge that you have a limiting belief, what it is, so that you can move past it and through it to attain all that you want to attain. And I promise you that the end results of doing this work with consistency, because it is an affirmative statement, and the affirmative statement is like an affirmation. And when you have that affirmation, it will become like wearing a new suit of clothes. It's not always comfortable to wear that new suit of clothes, but you will walk into it. So how do you do this? You do it with consistency. And what I say is this: when in fact that limiting belief pops up, because it will, you have to speak to your mind and almost say, thank you. Thank you, mind, for caring enough to share that with me. Because in fact, when you do that, you are acknowledging that you're already transcended the limiting belief. You're acknowledging it. You're not making it wrong or yourself bad. And then I want you to just understand that then what I do is I will take that limiting statement and I will say, no, that is not what I choose to think and feel in this moment in time. And I literally take that limiting belief, throw it over my shoulders, do it physically, and I let it go. And then I reaffirm how I want my mind to work. Mind, this is what I choose to think and feel in this moment in time. And I say that reframed positive statement. Could I have some water? I'm like dry. Thank you. And I'm not going to be able to get my words out. Okay, that's better. So I told you that this concept of doing this is a very important part of achieving the results you want, whether it's in your business, your relationships, or your health. I also shared with you that my limiting belief was I didn't ask for help. So what happened to me is that I was in the middle of the height of my career, running an international seminar program with many, many people all over, a private practice, my family, doing what women do best, taking care of the world and everyone around us, except I forgot to take care of Gail. So what happened is I hit the wall. I hit the wall And then what I actually started to feel really, really sick. High energy person. All of a sudden I had no energy. And I went to the doctor and I was diagnosed with lupus. Now, another limiting belief set in because that's what happens. Instead of beating myself up about it, the limiting belief that set in was, oh shit, I'm going to die. And it wasn't like, oh shit, it was, oh my God. And fear set in. Why did that limiting belief set in? Because I had proof. I had a cousin, Arnie, who died of lupus. So it was a genetic thing. And then they discovered I also had tumors. I had no idea. I'm running all these programs. I'm doing all this work. I'm achieving all these results, and I'm hitting the wall. So what did I do? Instead of immediately going into transcending and reframing, I needed to sit and process the feelings that I was feeling. And when I was done doing that, I decided I was done with this fear. I needed to reach out to someone that I looked up to that could support me at this point in time. And I decided to ask for support. And who I asked to support me was John Grinder. John Grinder was the co-creator of neuro-linguistic programming. Now, John, neuro-linguistic programming is how how you see the world and how you see yourselves and how your feelings and your thoughts evoke the next action steps, whether it be habits or patterns. I flew out to California and he worked with me, changing my limiting belief into a positive belief that I was going to be well. And I was up against it. I had people in my life that didn't believe that I could handle and conquer this situation. However, I believed I could. And I needed to be able to define with John what the parameters would be for my healing. Part of it was self-care. The other part of it was meditating with self-care, exercising with self-care, even though my joints were swollen and I was filled with pain. The other was boundaries, creating boundaries. The other part of this was being able to interact with people who I knew were going to be positive for me in my goal, not people that would pull me down. Now, unfortunately, I had to also define who were toxic people in my life. Now, my mom, who's not toxic, however, when she was alive and this happened, she flew out from Florida to try to help me. Now, just like all moms, and I'm a mom and I'm a grandmother, she had angst. She had anxiety. She was worried about me. So she was wringing her hands while I'm trying to stay focused in my new belief system and heal. And so with love, I had to send her back to Florida. That was my boundary. That was something I needed to do. So the bottom line is she did forgive me and I was able to heal. What I want you to know is that my husband at that point in time, it was 2.5 months in, and my husband was doing a marathon. We live off a big hill and he was running up that hill. And I was already in healing because I was focusing. I had reframed my belief system and I kept reframing my belief system as hard as it was until that new suit of clothes became my clothes. And I started walking up the hill and my cells were transforming. I was saying my affirmation and like wind beneath my wings, like Lou Rawls' song, I passed Joe going up the hill and he was a marathon runner. One story I want to share with you is that when you don't add self-care into your reframe of your limiting belief, it doesn't work. So a quick story, if I may, is that I was in facilitator training. I'm going to call it camp in the mountains in California. And we did a lot of inner work and outer work. We weren't always in the mountains, but it was over a month training. One of those courses was like an outward bound course. So what I want to share with you, and I'm sorry, it's going to be a little more than 2 minutes. I'll do my best. One of the obstacle courses was I had to climb this redwood tree. A redwood tree, it was about 100 feet tall. Forget it. Okay. So the redwood tree had these little prongs sticking out of it. I don't know how to say it. And just the toe of your sneaker could go into that little whatever it was sticking out of the tree. And then you're harnessed for safety. And there was a rope. And being Gail, with the limiting belief that I had, I was going to go up that tree. And then you had to jump for a ring. Well, I'm going. And one of the head facilitators was my dear friend who said, I'm leaving you alone. These people are going to support you, your group. I'm going to the other side of the mountain. She got to the other side of the mountain, and guess what? She did not hear anybody supporting me. No one. It was silent. And she knew that has to be Gail. And she came back over the mountain. I've got goosebumps because this was a very tough learning. And when she came back over the mountain, she took a megaphone. I didn't know she was there. I'm still climbing the tree. And she screams, stop. I want you to stop, and I want you to look at the tree and tell me what it looks like. I knew it was Marianne, and I said, it looks like a tree. And then I continued up. She said, stop. I want you to feel the tree. I felt the tree, nice tree, and then I continued up. Okay, now I'm really scared. I'm shaking. I'm on a 100-foot tree. I don't know how I'm going to get myself around with just the tip of my toe to hug the tree, to turn around, to jump for the ring. And she stops and says, I want you to taste the tree. Now I'm mad. I'm really mad. I'm really going to get her when I get down. And I scream down, Marianne, I have no reference point of what a tree tastes like. Okay, I'm tasting it. What does it taste like? It tastes like a tree. So I continue up. I turn around. I'm about to jump for the ring, and now I am shaking in fear, and she screams, stop. We know you're going to get the ring. We don't want you to jump. We want you to free fall. Now you're harnessed, and your group is going to catch you so you don't bounce into the next tree. And I want you to visualize that your daughters, Dava and Jill, are down here. I'm going to cry. And they only want mom. They don't want super mom. They just want mom. And I free falled. My group caught me, group hug, tears, etc. And what I want to leave you with is that if I can change cells, and I'm not saying that NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, is the be end all of everything. The possibility and the probability of your being able to take your life to the next place by telling yourself that you believe in yourself and eliminating as many limiting beliefs that you can possibly eliminate without beating yourself and making yourself wrong. I even named my limiting character Polly Perfect. So Polly Perfect, when she shows up, I shift. So I want to leave you with this. Remember that your limiting beliefs are not there to hurt you. They're not there to make you feel bad about yourself. They're there so you can transcend. And the more that you practice this and believe your own worth and that you have value and who you are is special and enough, you will attain everything you want in life. And I know you will. Thank you.
Awesome. Wasn't that great? Love, love, love what Gail has to share. I want to invite you, go on over to our Facebook group. Grow Smarter, Not Harder.com/login is how you're going to access that. And once you get in there, just drop a comment. Let us know what you thought of the workshop that Gail shared and any takeaways that you might have. And if you like what you're seeing on the show, even a tiny bit, if you feel like there's been some help to you, just leave us a comment wherever you're finding us. Comment, like, subscribe, whatever you have to do to let us know that you like us. Alrighty. At the end of every show, I pull a card, and it's so surprising the card that we pulled today. This one's called Free Spirit. It's from the Alana Fairchild Love Your Inner Goddess guidebook. And it's, for those of you who have this guide, it's number 22. And it's so interesting. It's so in alignment with what we're talking about today, about letting go of limiting beliefs. It says, when we have an active imagination, we can forget to use it for dreams and instead let it create nightmares. There's something that you have been worrying about. There's no need to torment yourself. Let go of any thoughts, attitudes, or beliefs that are based in fear. They're not helpful, necessary, or accurate. Everything has a positive and loving purpose, even if we cannot see or know what it is right away. You'll find a loving solution comes to you easily and at the perfect time as you choose to avoid of fearful thinking. Let yourself be free to feel positive about your future and know that everything is going to be okay. I'm going to go ahead and post this inside Ladies Power Lunch Facebook group. And I invite you, drop your comments. What is this saying to you? Is it meaningful to you in any way? I know it feels to me like it's right in line with what Gail was talking about on that clip today. Thank you all so much for joining in with us. I'd love for you to come join us on our upcoming retreat. We've started again having retreats. We hadn't had one, a Ladies Power Lunch retreat, since I want to say 2019, but we finally started having retreats again where we get together with women in business and we focus on changing that life balance, those boundaries, infusing more beauty and improving brilliance in your life. I know you want to know more. Just go over to growsmarternotharder.com/retreat. There's a ton more information there. If you're watching this in real time, we always have another retreat coming up. But if you're watching this in real time, our upcoming retreat is October 21st, and we do have 2 spots left. And one of those spots could be you. The other one could be your business bestie. So go on over, check it out. And if you want to chat, just reach out to me on social media. Thanks so much for watching along, and I'll see you on the next show. Bye, everyone.